So Mauricio, what can you tell us about the hardware and software requirements that are needed for the Veritas Access products?
Well, first of all, let's talk about how many nodes we need. In Veritas Access 7.2, we need at minimum 2 nodes to configure everything. This is independently from the type of storage that you have. If you have direct attached storage or SAN-based storage, or who knows, maybe cloud as well. 2 nodes are good for everything. The 2 nodes need to be configured, they need to be installed with the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system, version 6 with update 6 or 7. 32 gigabytes of memory are really recommended in a real environment. Just for a test environment, you can use less than this, but in a real environment, you need 32 gigabytes of memory. And 60 gigabytes of space are needed to configure, to install the package. Once you have the 2 nodes installed with the Red Hat Enterprise Linux server operating system, you can start the installation. During the installation, the wizard will add more RPM packages to the Linux operating system. This is because more extra packages are required for InfoScale Access. InfoScale Access was the previous name of Veritas Access. But now, starting from version 7.2, we will call it simply Veritas Access. So the 2 nodes need to be, once you configure the software, you need to connect the 2 nodes with a Heartbeat. Remember that the Veritas Access cluster basically is an InfoScale availability cluster with CFS option. The 2 Heartbeats can be connected with several protocols. For example, you can use RDMA, we can use LLT over UDP, or simply LLT if you want. You can use InfiniBand, you can use 10 gigabit network cards, whatever you want. Whatever is supported by InfoScale availability is supported by InfoScale or Veritas Access as well. Connection to the storage. The connection to the storage can be done directly if you have direct attached storage. Can be done using multipath if you are using SAN-based storage. Or you can even connect cloud storage using internet. Now, talking about the connectivity, the network cards, how many network cards do you need to connect the nodes to the LAN? Since this is an active-active cluster, we need, to reduce the single point of failure problem, we need to connect each node with a LAN through at least 2 different network cards. And each network card will have a proper IP address, a proper static IP address. Of course, since this is a cluster, we need to configure even virtual IP addresses. So every network card will have 2 IP addresses. One is static, one is dynamic virtual that will be moved dependently on the failovers. So in this configuration, we need at least 4 IP addresses to interact with the LAN. Then we need to connect. We need to add 4 IP address for each node, 8 IP address in total. And then we need to add 1 additional IP address, that is the cluster IP address, that is for management, for VOM connectivity, so that from VOM or from other systems we can reach the cluster and we can manage the cluster. 9 IP addresses are required, are strictly required in total. But we can configure, we can add 2 more IP addresses if we want to have better performances in backup, in the replication. So 1 additional IP address will be reserved for backup purposes, and 1 additional IP address will be reserved for replication. Backup IP address and replication IP addresses, however, are completely optional, so you can configure it just if you want better performances in replication and in backup.
Okay. And when you were saying VOM, you're referring to as the Veritas InfoScale Operations Manager. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay,
the
great.
Unique interface to manage Veritas clusters, Veritas Access clusters as well.
Okay, great. Mauricio, thank you very much.
Welcome.